On this onset, I would like to thank IIRSI for giving me this opportunity. Definitely, observation is the cornerstone to higher learning. But before that, what is observation? Observation is an act of noticing or perceiving by watching something attentively. Now, a lot of studies have shown that by teaching students the art of observation, it has significantly improved the clinical skills that they had after the training. Now, let's look at what is the secret behind being a good observer. First and foremost, definitely you need good eyesight. The next thing is being physically and mentally fit. So what does this mean? Is physically fit means try to take up an activity which involves fast reflexes like badminton, TT, or anything that has a fast reflexes which really sharpens your mind. And also one more way of really training your mind is meditation. It truly helps. The next thing is always be alert and be aware of your surroundings. Now, for instance, when you look at the slide, as you can see, every word in the slide or the whole of my presentation, every word starts with a capital letter, but these three words doesn't start with, and also the word observer is all caps. These are small things that actually we have to pick up when we're looking at things, not just this part, even when you just walk into a room, when you're looking at the fan, is it centered to the ceiling? When you look at the TV, is it centered to the wall? When you keep training your mind to do this, immediately the mind, you don't need to force it or you don't need to think about it. It automatically tries to detect what is out of the ordinary. I'll give you an example of a small surgery where if you look at this surgery, you'll realize why is it important to look at your surroundings. I don't know if you have observed or you missed out. There is something abnormal in this. Let me just circle it. Basically, if you look at the sleeve, there is a small nick and a lot of fluid is leaking. This is something that you shouldn't miss out. And if you continue like this, definitely you land in complications as you go on in your surgery. One more way of really, improving this part of the skill is, playing the game, spot the difference between the two images. This really helps in developing this particular skill. The next thing is being able to discriminate what is important and what is not. Now, once you have done that, you need to remember all of this or record it in your memory. Or let's say if you're doing your surgeries, make sure you review your surgeries, not just the complication, also the ones which you have got it perfectly. It is very important to realize, the situations where you have done it perfectly so that you can repeat it every time you go in to the surgery. Once you have achieved all the above steps, definitely you should be able to predict what's going to happen next. And definitely, if something goes wrong, please do not, panic. Control your emotions. And once you have controlled your emotions, definitely you will end up executing the perfect, quick decision. All of this, is it only important for a student? Definitely not. It is important even for a teacher to have a keen observation skills, because you need to see what the student is doing wrong, be it the smallest thing, even like is the gloves fitting perfectly, is he shrugging his shoulders, sitting properly, how he's holding his instruments. These are small things you need to pick up, and this is not common or the same problem happens with every student. Each student is unique. You need to find out what he's struggling with, so that once you correct it, immediately you will shorten his learning curve. Now, the biggest evil for all of this is, which will end the growth, is the words, I know everything. Please do not bring these words anytime in your life. It will never happen. The thought of this will really hamper your growth to a large extent. As you all know, lesser the knowledge, more the ego. And I like to end by saying, a good surgeon has an eye of an eagle, a heart of a lion, a hand of a lady, and I like to add a mind of a detective. Thank you so much.
That was really a lovely presentation, and I know for a fact that the point that you mentioned, that to review your normal videos is equally as important as reviewing your complication videos, because I remember you telling that this is the difference between a good surgeon and a great surgeon. It's reproducibility, and that will only come when you review your normal cases and someone who's your teacher, who's your mentor, actually tells you that even in this case you can still become better, because you can never be perfect. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Himanshu sir, any comments?
Brilliant what he said. Lovely presentation, lovely slides. A lot of efforts going into that. And every slide, I was looking at the other things. How did he make all those beautiful presentations? So that's the most important thing, to see that you have to be watchful of your surroundings, and you need to know what's going on. Like you, Rohan, you have to see behind you what's going on right now. So that's how it is. It's brilliant, and no question about it. Every small thing that you learn is least said the better. And every small part is so important. I mean, classically, as a good surgeon, you learn from your bosses and your colleagues what not to do and what to do. 70% of the time, you learn what not to do. And that's something which you should, it goes unsaid, you have to learn what not to do in people. And Dr. Namrata has learned a lot. Evening, ma'am, good to see you. With that hidden smile is a lot of knowledge behind that hidden smile of what not to do in life, you know.
No, I think I just wanted to comment on that. When you're young and you're, just beginning everything and getting into new things, you want to do everything, and there's nothing wrong with it. It is only gradually you realize, like Dr. Himanshu said, it is gradually you realize, you mature, and then you realize that this should not be touched, this should not be touched. So in the beginning, you're so enthusiastic about everything, and we've all done it. I mean, as if you have to do, say, a chemical injury case, we will do a slit and a dalk and reach right up to the desmids and would like to see on the table, that clear desmids, clear graft, good slit, and think tomorrow everything is going to be fine. But as you grow older, you realize that it cannot happen in one stage. You first need to do slit, see how it goes for 3 months, then plan a lamellar keratoplasty, see how it goes, then maybe do, contact lens trial. So that sequential maturing occurs over a period of time. Initial enthusiasm, initially everybody is very enthusiastic. So I was also just telling my residents that as I've got older, I have realized, to be more conservative, which is bad, because if you're conservative, then you can't, really innovate.
So I beg to differ there. You know, as you got more wise, not older, you know, that statement is to be corrected. है ना, Rohan?
Absolutely, sir. And no one wiser than ma'am here.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that.
Gaurav, that smart smile behind. So, what do you have to say about this, Gaurav?
I've been enjoying all this because, I think time tells you how to, get smarter, and wisdom comes with experience and nothing else. And however, if I look back at how I started off my career as a young person, you learn at every stage. What's important is to learn from your peers and from your seniors as well. Sometimes when you're young and you listen to your, senior consultant or somebody tell you that, do this like this, you think that this guy is scared of doing things or whatever. I mean, he's being too cautious and till you burn your fingers. So I think it's good to be enthusiastic. It's good to you tend to learn best from your mistakes as well. But it's good not to make blunders. And when somebody tells you not to make a blunder, or you're heading in the wrong direction, you should pause to think at least, and not kind of dismiss what the senior person is telling you. Yet I think innovation, as Namrata said, comes from taking small risks and kind of trying out new things, and that's how you innovate. So I think that should never stop as well. Wonderful talk, Naren. Congratulations for that. Nicely said.